Hey, what's up everyone? So I'm pretty excited right now. I'm up here at camp in Potter County. If you watched any of my videos last year, I had some pretty good trips up here. So I took off work. It's Friday. Tomorrow is our work day here at camp, so I won't be able to fish Friday or fish Saturday morning. But so I got up here late last night, and I'm hitting the water. It's about 7 a.m. I got up around 6. It's a real feel of 30 degrees. It's raining a little bit right now, not much, just a little spritz. The wind's supposed to pick up here, and it's not really supposed to get above 45 degrees. So I'm not sure, not the best conditions, so I'm not one to complain a whole lot. Anytime I get a chance to fish up here, I take full advantage. Just walking down right now. The creek is up a little bit, but it's not too bad. This creek at least stays pretty clear, so I don't have to worry about visibility issues or anything like that. I don't know with the colder air temps if we'll get a hatch today. I'm hoping today or tomorrow we'll get a hatch, but we'll just have to see what happens. I'm going with an attractor pattern here this morning, squirmy wormy. This creek gets stocked with a lot of rainbow trout, so that's usually my go-to when rainbows are around. If it's not working, I'll either switch to a mop or go something a little more natural, but I think it's a good fly to start out with. So let's get down to the creek here. I'll get on my head, and hopefully we get a good day of action here. All right, so I'm down here on the water. I actually looked when I got here last night, and apparently this creek was scheduled to be stocked yesterday. Like I said, I didn't get in until late last night, so I don't know. There were a lot of people out fishing. If it did get stocked, no idea. Even if it didn't, usually some fish hanging around here later in the year anyway, so not too concerned. Should be able to run into some fish. There, I got one. Took a while, but I finally hooked into a fish. I'm guessing a rainbow. Staying down towards the bottom. Yeah, it's a rainbow, I believe. On the squirmy worm. I got him. Fish on my top fly. Little rainbow. Pretty little rainbow. On the iron lotus. He's already off, so I'm just gonna flip him out. Keep my hands dry and warm. Just flipped my camera off, and next cast the rainbow took the green mop fly. A little bit bigger of a fish. Not huge, but it's a fish. Hooked into a fish here. Not sure what we got yet. I'm fishing a squirmy and an iron lotus. Pink squirmy, iron lotus with a red hot spot. It's a rainbow on the squirmy. So I actually kind of changed my plan up here a little bit. It's a small rainbow. So I guess naive of me, I didn't expect there to be many people out here today. It's a Friday, it's not a holiday weekend or anything. It's not a particularly nice day. And the creek's definitely a little high. But I drove down, I'm in the delayed harvest artificial lure only Keystone Select Trophy Trout water, whatever you want to call it here, on the first fork of the Sinnemahoning. And there's a couple spots I fished in this section before that I knew are pretty decent, and I know a lot of guys fish it. So I drove down there to those two spots, and it's about 10 vehicles total. I was kind of surprised. So I moved back up to the top end of the section, I kind of marked a spot where I want to get out. I measured in my truck. It's about a 1.5 mile walk back to where I started here. So I think that's going to be my plan for now. I'm not sure how it's going to go. The creek's definitely a little high. You can fish at some spots. You can't fish at the best at others. It's tough wading. I'm not trying to fall in here today. Water's cold. It's cold outside. And I hope to fish the rest of the weekend. So I don't want to get my waders soaked. So I'm going to try and stay close to the edges and just see what happens. But I picked up so far, there's a fish. I think that's my 5th fish of the day right there. So that could be worse. It's early here. Maybe it's not going to warm up a whole lot, but might pick up some as the day goes on. That's a little bit better of a rainbow trout. Whew. These guys jump around. Quick release. Those barbless hooks make it nice, especially on cold days. I'm wearing my gloves, and that allows me to not have to touch the fish at all. I don't have to get my hand wet. There's a fish. Not sure if that's the one I missed or not. That was a little farther out, but another rainbow. Not a bad fish. On the squirmy. That's a good 11, 12-inch fish. If I can get him in the net here. There we go. All right, buddy. Let me get the hook out of you. And the squirmy's just a deadly pattern on these sock rainbows. You saw some of my other videos. It's kind of my go-to for them. This is a better fish here, I think. I thought I saw a glimpse of a pretty nice rainbow. I don't think I got the best hook set on him, but yeah, that's a good fish. That's a big fish. Hopefully we can keep him on. Try and back out of some of this current. Yep, he's a good one. Not sure if he's on the squirmy. That's a big rainbow on the squirmy. Big rainbow on the squirmy. Catching these on a 3-weight's fun. I never really caught any big fish until I switched over to a 3-weight. So I'm not sure what it's like on other fly rods. I'm sure it's still a good time, but wow, that's a big fish. Oh, he's just burying into the current. That's a big fat rainbow trout right there. Come on, buddy. Oh, come on, don't barrel roll. Don't barrel roll. Man, I can't get him to me. So much current here. I gotta try and bring more line in, I guess. Apparently I got a decent hook set in him, at least so far. Oh. My knot's holding too, which is good. I just can't move them. Yeah, get them in here. There's a little bit of a back current. Maybe. Stay away from the tree roots. He's right in that upper lip. Come on, big guy. Oh, come on. I almost had him. Holy heck, this is challenging land here. This is the most I've struggled to land a fish probably ever. Oh, there he is. Wow, is that sucker fat. Holy crap. Oh my gosh. That was a challenge. He is an absolute pig. Oh my god. Absolute pig. Here I hooked into one. This fish I was just walking. It's gonna work my way down to the next riffle, and one grabbed while I was just walking downstream. That's a rainbow. That one's a lot of silver, not much pink on that one. I'm surprised, it's about 7 or 8 rainbows now. Not a single one jumped. There's a rainbow. This one jumped right as I was pressing the camera, turning the camera on, so he missed the first jumper of the day. But everything's gonna look small after that last one I caught, but I don't know, 10 inches, decent fish. Now that I have my gloves off, I'm probably not gonna go to the net on all these fish. It's just as easy to just reach down with your hand, get your hand wet, and slide the hook right out of them and let them go. There we go. That's a smaller fish, but yeah, I don't know. I always, not always, but I tend to let it drift out pretty well when I'm fishing for stock fish. If there's a hatch going on, I'll always let it drift out and let it swing. But I read something one time that makes sense, that to let your flies swing out when you're fishing for stock trout, because they are used to being fed in the hatchery, and their food is always coming from above them, so they're looking up, ready to come up and grab that food. And when your fly swings out, it pops up high into the water column and up on top, and they're used to looking up to get their food. So I don't know, it makes sense to me. Another taker down on the swing towards the end of the drift. I don't think it's all that big. There's just a heck of a lot of current here. We'll see. Not a bad fish. Come on. There we go. Decent little rainbow. There's a fish. A jumping rainbow. Not real big, but not tiny either. Now he's snagged. Ah. Yeah, he came off and ended up snagged. It's amazing how much that happens. I think we got a small rainbow here. Yeah, a rainbow, and he actually did not take the squirm. That's the first one in a while that took my nymph. I put a blue Frenchie on there not too long ago, and there was one on it already. There he is. I missed him the cast before he came back for it. So this one's also on the Frenchie. I think that's 2 in a row for the Frenchie. There's a quick release. There's a fish. That's a nice rainbow. Not as big as the other lunker I caught, but it's a pretty big fish. Pretty big one. Down in the current. You gotta try and keep them from When they spaz out like that is when they can, especially with barbless hooks, they can lose their tension. That's when you lose them. So if you try and keep them calm, let them stay under the water, don't force them up until they're ready, it increases your chances of landing them. That's another big chunky fish. Oh my God. Let's see where he lines up on the rod here. They're so fat and hard to hold. So he pretty much goes halfway between the R and clear water, second R, and that white line above it. And my hands are good and cold. We keep hitting it down at the bottom. I just can't get them to actually take it. There's a fish up farther. That's another nice rainbow. That's another good fish. See if we can keep this fellow on. They're kind of holding right now. They're not in that real fast water. There's some, I think, in that real fast stuff. But right off the edge of it, where it slows down just a hair, I seem to be picking up fish. Oh, this one looks like it might even be a brownie. Can't tell for sure. Yeah, that's a nice brown. He took the Frenchie, not the squirmy. Get him back in. Go ahead, buddy. Go ahead out of there. Go ahead out of there. There he goes. There's one down at the bottom. Jumping rainbow. That one took the squirmy. There's back-to-back casts. Oh, that one's making a run. Making a run. I think it's a rainbow. Yep. That one's on the Frenchie. Come on, bud. Alright, so I'm going to give you a little bit of an idea here of exactly what type of water I'm looking for. So when I'm nymphing, riffles are my favorite thing to nymph. Not that you can't catch fish in slower water. It's just not as effective, not as fun to me. So I like to fish riffles. So I'm not sure how well you can see on the camera, but there's a nice riffle out through there. Nice, pretty long riffle. And that's probably where a lot of the fish are gonna hang out when the creek is at lower levels. It's a little high right now. So I think the water out there is a little faster than it typically would be. and I think it's pushing the fish to the edges of them. So I just caught, I don't know, 3, 4, 5 fish just off the edge of this riffle. And I think when the water goes back down, they'll just move back into that riff. But as the water rises and gets high, they kind of push out of that to get into some slower water. And I'm sure there's still a few out there. If I walked out there, I bet I could pick a fish or two up. But it's pretty tough wading, and I'm doing good enough from the bank that I'm not gonna go try that. Like I said, I really don't want to get wet today. It's not a very pleasant day. Right there's a fish. So that's right on the edge of the, right where it starts to slow down, rather than be fast, kind of white waterish stuff. And that's just where the fish have been sitting so far today. There's a fish. Oh, that's a jumper. He's a little farther out there into the current. Okay, okay, okay. Almost. This guy's all over the place. I'm assuming from the just fact that it's jumping, it's a rainbow, but it kind of looked like a brownie. It's a pretty nice fish. Hopefully I can get him in here. Thought he was gonna go again. But he didn't. And that's a brownie. I'm surprised he jumped like that. He is on the Frenchie. So those brownies just don't seem like they like the... I would guess that's a wild fish right there. He's colored up. He's got that blue false eye thing going on. Hopefully I can get a good picture of this guy. He's all tangled up in the... Got another fish hooked on here. I fished this side, this seam a little right off the edge of the current pretty thoroughly here. So I took a couple steps out and there's a fish already. So maybe they are in the high faster water as well. This one looks like another brownie, but it looks like it's on a squirmy. Yep, that's another nice brown right there. I don't know, man. I think these are wild. This is a wild brown too. It sure is. It sure looks like it. It's got real pretty looking fins. It's got the false eye there, the blue hue. It's got everything you're looking for in a wild fish. This is a real nice fish. Put him out of my net. So there, I don't know, there's two fish now I caught out of a little bit faster current that, in my opinion, are wild brown. At the very least, they're holdover brownies, but I think they're wild fish. Then I moved down just a hair, went back into fishing the slightly slower water, and picked up another fish. This is a rainbow on the Frenchie. Going down there a little bit. There's a fish. That's a nice fish. Looks like a pretty decent rainbow. On the swing once again. That's just the way they like them. Swinging out through. He's hanging tight in that current. See if I can pull him out of there. Yeah, it's a good rainbow on the squirmy wormy. See if I can get him to the net. Oh, he popped me right there and threw me into a tree. I love when that happens. Hopefully I can get that down, but we'll see. Alright, so I was able to get my flies back.
but it was a tangled mess, so I yanked him out of the tree. There's a jumper. But got him cut off and tied back on, and it's either my first or second cast back at it. He's off already. I'm just gonna flip him back in. I'm gonna fish out this riffle yet, and then I think I'm gonna head back to camp, get some lunch, put some batteries on the charger. It's getting really freaking windy right now, so it's a bit of a struggle. It was a pretty good morning of fishing. It started real slow by camp. Only caught one fish, I think, and then I moved to the trophy trout de-halo water here where it's all catch and release, and it really picked up here. So I'll probably be back into this section this evening, probably tomorrow as well. I think I'll probably wrap this up here and make this one video just from this morning. It should be a pretty good video, and then maybe the rest of the weekend I'll wrap that into one. So thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed the vid, and we'll see you next time.